Hello, everyone, and welcome to MTU Esports. Today, our MTU Huskies Overwatch team is taking on Emporia State University in this Playfly Varsity Premier League matchup. I'm Jake, I go by Scrimpy, and joining us on the air for the first time, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Alex. I go by Sponge. I'm a cybersecurity student here at Michigan Tech, and I also work here as a non-traditional student. Jake, what can you tell us about the Playfly Championship so far?
Well, it's been pretty exciting so far. The Overwatch team is off to a fantastic start. They're currently sitting at 3-0 in the conference, have not dropped a game yet. Very exciting win last week against their opponent. Just quick 3-0, dominant victory there against Iona State. There's currently two other teams who are 3-0. It's Fisher and Cal State Dominguez Hills. So very competitive in the top end of this bracket. The top 6 teams in the conference will make the national playoffs. So a lot to fight for here, especially those top 2 teams getting a first round bye in the playoffs. But the season's still here, pretty young, a lot of game left. But I guess just this is your first time on air for us here at MTU Esports. It's been a pleasure meeting you so far, getting to know you behind the scenes here. But just like, how have you felt so far getting into the swing of things here at MTU Esports? Just like anything in particular, anything you're excited for in particular, getting behind the desk?
That's the thing. A lot of what I do now for work is AV stuff, and I have to say, as someone who works usually behind the scenes producing content like this, it is incredible to see the studio that we have here at the SDC. The folks that are running the ship really have a great grasp of what's going on. I can't believe that it's all students throwing this stuff together.
Yeah.
And I've been a fan for the last couple of months. It's been incredible seeing just professional level play-by-play coming out of the desk right here. I'm honored to be here with you tonight, Jake.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And that really does mean a lot. But I mean, we've got a really exciting matchup here. It seems like you have a pretty good one on the desk here for Emporia State. They're off to a very good start as well, 2-2 in the Playfly Conference. But their only 2 losses are to those undefeated teams I mentioned earlier. So, I mean, they've taken losses, but against really great teams. So, Gonna be a really tough match tonight. I'm excited to see how this shakes out.
Yeah, we're looking for a good one. The Huskies had incredible control over their match against Ionia State last week. Some of the stats that we're going to pull up here in a moment are
mind blowing. I cannot believe some of the stats that we've seen these players pull off. But it's going to be really exciting to see how they fare against Emporia State tonight. But before we get any further, we do need to talk about this weekend's past events. The GLIAC Esports Championship occurred down at Purdue Northwest University over the weekend, and we had 4 of our rosters down there. Our Smash team, our Rocket League team, our Valorant team, and the League of Legends team all went down to Indiana to play against all the other GLIAC schools, bringing their best players, and we have the results here for you. The Rocket League team came in a combined 5th and 6th place. They wound up, I believe Davenport University won the overall tournament for Rocket League. For Valorant, we came in 5th, 6th, 7th place. I believe Davenport also took that one, though I may be incorrect on that. League of Legends came in 4th place. They played their 3rd place game against Davenport University, but a really solid performance there by the League of Legends team. And then the Smash team did what they do for the 3rd straight year. The Smash team here at Michigan Tech is your GLIAC champion, won the entire bracket, stayed in winner's bracket the entire time, a perfect record at the GLIAC Esports tournament. Overall, a 3rd place finish for your Huskies at the GLIAC Esports Championship.
An absolutely great showing. And I was listening on air last week. You could actually hear them popping off from Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
Up here. It was an incredible amount of energy that our guys pulled off. Congrats to our Huskies.
Yeah, really solid performances by all of our teams down in Indiana. And then also, last Friday, the Call of Duty team was taking on the New England Institute of Technology in the ECAC regular season. They won that series 3-1. So fantastic news for the Huskies. They remain undefeated in Call of Duty in their new conference. So exciting news there for all you Call of Duty fans. There will be streams for Call of Duty coming very, very soon. We hope you stay tuned for that. But then looking ahead to this week's schedule, we have, of course, tonight's matchup against Emporia State. Then this Friday, the COD team is going to be taking on Southeastern Illinois College. That is going to be another game where the Huskies look to remain undefeated in Call of Duty. Then next week, looking at this, we have Tuesday at 8:30. We're going to see the Huskies League of Legends team take on George Fox University. Michigan Tech Overwatch will be playing RIT Orange on Wednesday at 8:30. And then Michigan Tech, one more time for Call of Duty, next Friday night, will be taking on Buena Vista University, looking to remain undefeated. So really exciting stuff here coming for all of our Michigan Tech teams who are playing out a full season, doing more than just playing in the GLIAC tournament this semester. And so far, every team off to a pretty great start.
Yeah, it's good to see a healthy esports team coming out of Michigan Tech. And all of these games, too, some of them are about a decade old. I remember when they came out originally. It is incredible to see students going to Michigan Technological University on scholarship for playing video games. It's a great scene.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those things where it's just become more and more just the way it is over the past few years. And it's been really exciting to see. I mean, I remember I heard, I think it was Eastern Michigan University near my home started offering esports scholarships a few years ago, and my parents were just like mind blown by that. But then, you know, I come up here and I'm just like, hey, I'm working for Tech Esports, you know? Like, there are opportunities in this field and they're growing rapidly. It's a really exciting time to be in esports. A lot of really exciting things going on just across the entire scene. A lot of schools getting into the scene and making some very exciting contributions to this rapidly growing world that we're in here in esports.
Yeah, and whether we're in the gaming side of the table or on this side of the table, it is a great time to be a Husky fan, I tell you.
Absolutely. It's been an absolute blast so far, and I mean, we've got some teams putting on some absolute shows for us here, so really exciting stuff. Looking forward to see how they continue to perform in the near future here. But now it is time to take a look at our Michigan Tech Huskies roster for our Overwatch team. We're going to see the same starting 5 as last time. We have the captain, Lucas Cheesebread, coming out as the team captain, Isaac McKinney, Dan Burns, Jacob Roy Boland, JRB, and of course Chris Savage for the win. The same usual starting roster for the Huskies. But a really great job for all of them. Starting off with the captain, Lucas, I mean, take a look at this.
These stats are ridiculous. First and foremost, the average healing here is a pretty high number.
Yeah.
But what we need to focus on is the 86-3
out of a tank.
Kill to death. Out of a tank.
86-3.
That is absurd. I don't want to hype up our Huskies too much, but we were engaging in a little bit of bullying the last week. Those last 2 series that we've had have really helped pad the stats. On a tank, 86-3 is incredible.
Yeah. So fantastic work so far from Lucas. Going ahead to our next player here, we can take a look at these stats. We have Isaac coming up, and the stats continue to be insane. 109, the current overall KDA for Isaac in 2 weeks of competitive play for Michigan Tech Overwatch, and 11.5 KDA in competitive games.
These are the kind of stats that you take a picture of and frame on the wall while you can.
Yeah.
I hope these values continue to go through into tonight.
Yeah, this is the thing where like you'll look at like NFL stats leaderboards and you'll see like Justin Jefferson has 500 receiving yards through 2 weeks or something. Like you're just like, how is this humanly possible? And like I mean, the rate stats they begin to equalize over time, but taking a look at these right now, they are absolutely beautiful to look at. But fantastic work there from Isaac over the past couple weeks, looking to continue to make a strong contribution to the Huskies roster. If we take a look at our next player for our roster here, we have Jolo coming up, our interview subject last week, who's sitting at 114 and 13 so far.
Absolutely absurd.
These are insane stat lines to read off.
And this is Jolo playing without his main, if I'm correct.
Yeah, Ash
Jolo's
is currently not allowed in the game because Blizzard decided hitboxes don't matter for Ash right now.
So this is a bit like playing basketball left-handed, hockey shooting left-handed the whole time through. To have this many hours on your preferred hero, and to have them unable, you're unable to compete with them at this level. It's incredible that we're seeing these kinds of numbers. 114 kills, 13 deaths. These are impossible numbers.
Yeah, Jolo, usually Tracer or Ash are the two mains, but recently we've been seeing a lot of mix-ups there. We've seen a few different heroes from Jolo over the past couple weeks, so we'll have to see what he decides to go with in this next matchup. But if we take a look at our next player, we have JRB popping up with an average of 14.2k damage a game, running Hazard so far, and absolutely having just an absolute field day with Hazard. Last week we saw some really aggressive play right out of the gate on Control, and the work from JRB, along with, of course, the dive strat that the rest of the team was running, just completely shut down the offensive push from Iona State.
It was an iron wall. They were absolutely impenetrable. Coming from a win like that last week into the current series this week, I would think that our Huskies are feeling strong, feeling confident. We might have a slightly stronger matchup this week, but I know that our guys are feeling pretty confident. We can hear them laughing and having a good time in the background. It seems like spirits are high. Yeah. And moving on to our next player.
Yeah, we have the final player for the starting five here. We have Savage, who off to a fantastic start as well. Why not? 96-5 in your first 2 weeks of play. Of course, all of them sitting at 6-0 in the game-by-game win-loss record because they have 2 3-0s on the stat sheet so far. But 10,000 healing per round, nothing to scoff at by any means, especially when you're looking at the KDAs that our team has across the board. So fantastic work by all of our players, all of them putting in the work. And we're going to see if they continue to stay on this undefeated in-game streak that they've been on so far. But Emporia State looks like they are going to be the biggest challengers so far. Quick overview of their roster. Their captain, a Biscuit. They have Azpucks, Big Boy Snacks, Lechuga, Sir Salt, and Space Kitty are the players listed on their Playfly roster. So we'll have to see which ones are their starting 5. But exciting stuff there for all of the Huskies. Really fantastic play so far. And we do have our map 1 map pick. It looks like Emporia State selected Ilios.
We're going to Greece. A classic map, white and blue. It's a very beautiful open map. We're fighting over control points, if I'm not mistaken. One of the fun things about Ilios is there are a lot of places for physics-based knockouts.
Yes.
You can get bopped off the map pretty easily. There's a large pit. There's a new angle to consider when you're facing off in open maps like these. I wonder what kind of heroes Emporia State is going to choose to maybe complement that kind of strategy.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately not very familiar with Emporia State's roster and what their favorite picks tend to be. But it should be interesting to see what their team comp is. And we'll have to see if it changes as we go into future maps. I know Kings Row tends to be a favorite for hybrid. That's been a pretty recurring theme for a lot of matches that we've seen over the past few semesters for MTU Esports. But this is going to be an interesting map. I don't think we've seen Ilios in a while on Control. So.
And while map is loading in as we're settling in, folks at home, if you are watching for a specific student, tell us who you're here for. It's great to hear from family, friends, parents, whoever you are coming out to support. we do monitor our chat while we're hosting these things,
Mhm.
and we'd love to hear who you're coming out strong to support this week.
Absolutely. And if you did come to the stream late and you want to keep up with the rest of MTU Esports, be sure to follow us right here on YouTube. Subscribe to our Twitch channel as well. Both tags are at MTU Esports. We'll be streaming live there for you whenever we have a game to show. But it looks like game one is going to be loading in pretty quickly here. So let's take a look at map one. Here we are. Players will be beginning their heroes for luck pretty soon. But here we are on Ilios.
As mentioned, there's the giant pit of doom in the middle.
Yes.
When I played this game, I played Overwatch 1 about 10 years ago. This was a favorite skirmishing point. You could get some fun characters like Lucio constantly skating around, avoiding death for as long as possible. We can see the Huskies pouring out. Huskies in the yellow? No, we're still waiting for the map to start. My apologies.
Well, we have about 10 seconds to go here. We are going to see JRB rocking Hazard again. Seemed like it went a little bit too well last week to try any other strategy. So we'll see how it goes. We have dueling Kirikos on with Azriel and Cheese Bread as well. So it'll be exciting to see how this shakes out.
Oh, and immediately out the gate, we're here with the Symmetra portal trying to get Hazard onto the point. I think that's a quality strategy here, as Hazard wants to push in and take up space. As we saw JRB pulling through last week.
No.
There's the Roadhog hook. JRB with a good jump, keeping him out of the claws of death, pushing down the Surgeon. As you can see, Hazard has that large purple crystal that they push up. That's great for blocking angles of attack. It's great for covering damage. And in this case, they were trying to, I think, close in that Sojourn for a pickoff. But we see JRB get isolated and freeing himself again from the pit of despair. We're on our back line here, plugging some damage into Roadhog.
Yeah.
Looking for an easy pickoff here as the point is hard contested.
I will say Lechuga did draw first blood against Savage in this match, so a bit more resistance for Michigan Tech this time, but they're still going to be the first to capture point here on the first point of the map.
Tech's in with two pickoffs as we're positioning higher. We've got Jolo on Sojourn this time around, looking for just a good angle. Look, we've got a spar with Tracer as we're just softening up the Emporia State team. It looks like we've got a pretty strong defense here. An easy little pick off on the Kiriko is going to make it harder for the Emporia State.
And Roadhog goes down too, yeah.
Oh, look at that. We're pushing in. Look, a little shades of last week as we're starting to push our way back out onto their spawn and make sure that they can't push onto our control point. This is a very simple King of the Hill kind of a game where you just need to push bodies onto the point, and whoever is left standing will take it. Right now we're at 42%. Looks like the Huskies have a pretty commanding lead, and as you can see, Hazard is just being this big bully bulwark of a hero, just keeping the Emporia State folks from getting any kind of clearance here.
Over halfway now. A little bit of progress there on the point from Emporia, but not going to be enough. I mean, the Huskies playing past the point for the first half of the capture there. Fantastic work by them. Almost a stage knock there, but not going to fall off the map for now. Savage picks up a kill on Space Kitty, and HP pretty low for a couple Tech players, but a huge kill there. And that is essentially a team wipe. Only the Cassidy standing for Emporia State. Fantastic clear there from Tech, and this is going to put us down to probably overtime as the last chance for Emporia State on point one.
These last 20 points of progression are always the most tense. In my experience, you never know exactly when a hero is going to sneak in, but it seems like we've got just a solid iron curtain of a defense for our team that's pretty brawly right now.
Yeah.
Torbjorn, we did have a Symmetra, but it does look like they switched off.
They switched to Reaper, yeah.
We've got just a good staying force, but it does look like Emporia is going to sneak in on that last 2 points there. They've recaptured for the first time. They're on the board, and they're giving our Huskies a little bit of trouble here as...
That's a wipe.
Yeah.
They're going to have to retreat. Nice last-second push there by Emporia. That is the first time in control that we've seen the point captured against Michigan Tech, which, again, is just a wild thing to say. But Huskies now need to retake this point. They're already at 99%, so a team wipe here will pretty much seal the deal. Let's see if the Huskies can get it done.
And it does look like we're dueling with our ultimates there, as you can see with our percentages. Most of our Huskies busted their big moves, trying to maintain control with that last 100%. But we've softening up the Emporia State folks. Reaper looks slow. Cassidy's low. There's our pickoff. 3 down. There's 4.
Huge.
And they're going to make it 5 with the Diva. The problem with Diva, she's pretty sticky. As Baby Diva will pop out. That's the end of the match. Good job. First one goes to Michigan Tech. Well, first point of first control.
So, but yeah, really, I mean, a lot more resistance there by Emporia State. Nice job recapturing as the clock was expiring against them there. But Huskies, nice work there. Just needed a second, recompile themselves, came right back onto the site, and a fantastic retake there at the end. Shut down Emporia pretty quick, and Huskies get the first point with a little bit more trouble than they're used to, but still a really solid performance.
And as we're waiting for the next match to start, here we are again, Ilios, Greece. As you can see off to the bottom of the screen there are these just dire cliffs behind this giant lighthouse, which is our control point. Boy, howdy, would it be nice to be in Greece this week.
That sounds absolutely lovely. I mean, spring break coming up, maybe a few of our fellow Huskies getting off to some nicer shores. I mean,
some warmer places.
Yeah.
It does look like the Huskies. We're going to be rocking Hazard again, pushing into control of space. We're on the low ground as Emporia is picking at us from above. But the Michigan Tech offense is strong. That Sojourn skips out with just that hair to spare. We're busting down the Diva as Isaac's on our May. These deadly icicles trying to find some major health. The Reaper's low. Michigan Tech pushes into the control point as we're looking to clean up that Reaper. The Reaper teleport is scouted out, but he gets away with just... No, he doesn't.
Not for long.
Oh, big stun in the back alley. But Michigan Tech still controls the point. And while it's a 4-on-5, 3-on-5, Michigan Tech is looking pretty strong at the moment. As we sweep in and clear out the few remaining Emporia State folks, at this point it's actually better to continue to force this disadvantage. As Emporia State gets staggered like this, it becomes harder for them to push a unified front. It is odd that we're attacking from this far northern angle, but it does seem to be the only angle that Emporia can push out into the point.
Well, that was a recurring theme last week as well, is that we saw Michigan Tech successfully stagger the Iona State offense when they needed a retake, and it got their alt-timers out of sync. Just really difficult to actually coalesce as a team and make a successful team push when you're separated by your respawn timers. You feel like the clock's working against you, you need to make a push, and just like that, Huskies establish control. It takes a long time to break that cycle.
It is quite hard to play a team game when your team's not there.
Exactly.
That was the major struggle. As we are in with our scrimmaging here, we find another pickoff on that Hazard. 2, but Emporia gets 2 on the point as Hazard is in on his own.
Oh my gosh, JRB picks up 2, looking for a third. Gonna get it! Isaac with the assist there, or actually picks up the kill. But really solid work there by all the Huskies. Quickly retake that point. 10% taken by Emporia State. But Huskies still firmly in control as they wait for the reset and the new rush. One of the last chances here for Emporia in game 1.
And it's looking pretty tight. It's good to see Michigan Tech staying so consistent week in and week with these series. Polo pushes onto the point, but gets caught. I think those crystals were either May or our Hazard. They're glued to the point at this point.
They have to stick to it, yeah. This is going to be their last chance. They do successfully retake the point, but a lot of damage coming in from Jolo. Going to pick up 1.
Dropping the Junker Queen.
And just like that, here comes the retake. Jolo going for a solo recap. Players coming in from Emporia. Takes out 1, gets it taken down by Bucks. And now final push here. Huskies have a little bit of progress on the point, but it looks like JRB going to have to step back and wait for the team to come back. 2 players going down for the Huskies. They're going to wait. They have time on the clock. They know this, and they're going to make sure they have a concise team push.
Fighting on that point is very difficult. Once you're in, you're kind of entrenched. It's a bit like playing cat and mouse. As we see Emporia starting to pull on the offense over here. We've lost 2 of our Huskies so far, but it's a 3v3. But the Lucio ultimate comes through. That bumps up Emporia and makes them a lot harder to fight against. JRB is left alone waiting for the rest of his team to respawn.
I don't believe JRB has died yet during this game, but it's been a lot of times where it's just like all your teammates around you get wiped out. Hazard can't quite 1v5. JRB's been playing great these past few weeks, but I don't think anybody can play Hazard quite that great against a team like Emporia.
A 1v2, 1v3,
1v2, 1v3 maybe.
And we can hear them. They're calling out. They're having a good time in the back.
Yeah.
As they find a quick and easy pick off on their Sojourn. That's one of their major damage dealers down. We're looking for a second. The Junker Queen is still staying up. But Michigan Tech's on the point.
Successfully recaptures, final percentages ticking away. There is going to be an overtime here. A big push coming in from Emporia, but the pressure continues to build in favor of Michigan Tech.
And Emporia's got to be careful here. Savage playing Lucio, especially on these big cliff faces, that's an easy way to meet yourself back at the respawn room. Though, it seems like Emporia is showing their claws. They are out here repelling the Michigan Tech offense as they retake the point again. It looks like we might be going into it. Both 99%.
Yeah, double overtime here is a very likely possibility, but we have 3 ults built up in favor of the Huskies. Nobody's ult meter for Emporia going to get there quite in time.
The Kiriko ult goes down as that's an easy way to heal up and get some speed getting out of the point. The Reaper's teleporting out. Michigan Tech takes the point.
Overtime ticking away. Emporia needs to get on this point. JRB picks up kills. Only 2 players left. It's Pucks and Azriel. Pucks getting pushed off site. Overtime timer starting to decay. Another kill there. It's just the Kiriko. Gonna get taken down, and that is gonna be it. The Huskies gonna win game 1, but it is a nail biter.
Ooh, good, solid game. This first point was highly contested. It's good to see that we've got a real match here.
Yeah, we're seeing some major signs of life out of Emporia here. Game 1 pretty quickly tied up by Michigan Tech after a retake late. But game 2, Emporia does a really nice job retaking site 2 separate times. Gets themselves to 99%. Really solid, fended off a couple team pushes for Michigan Tech. Going to be very interesting to see how this transitions into hybrid for game 2.
Yeah, and it was a great play of the game on Jolo. You could see them absolutely funneling damage out into the Emporia State team.
Yes.
Those are some incredible numbers.
Yeah, fantastic work by the Huskies there. I'd even say it was stylish.
You know, speaking of style, are you a tech student? Do you need to be close to campus? We have stylish places for that. You can find the perfect location, live where you want to live at HoughtonForRent.com.
Yeah. Huge thank you to Broadway Enterprises for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. I think they still have a few places open for next year. If you're still looking for a place, go check out their website, see if they have anything available. I know they were running a giveaway. I saw some flyers for it on campus a while back. I'm not sure if that's still running, but keep your eyes peeled, especially if you're looking for a place next year.
We've got hot gameplay and warm places to live. What more could you want?
I mean, you know what? Pretty good selling point. Hey, we have heat.
Yeah.
You know, but like...
I don't know about you, but this is one of those weeks that I am glad someone invented long johns. I've been shoveling about a foot of snow every morning, and every night I come back and shovel another foot.
I mean, like there are times I'm thankful I live in an apartment block, so it's not my problem to shovel the parking lot or anything like that. But then there are times where I'm just like, I mean, it is just a slog to get up and down the stairs with a winter coat, all the heavy clothes, backpacks, and everything. Getting back up to the apartment's tough.
And that is the beauty of esports: is rain, snow, sleet, or hail. You've got something to play.
Yeah, as long as the internet, as long as you don't get like a surprise lightning strike that takes out the internet or something, you're there, you're playing.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the SDC is solely heated by the gaming computers in the esports complex. I believe they have all of their LEDs set to red for extra heat.
They've just got vents hooked up to all of the computers that just, you know, each one just heats a room here. It's lovely. And I know there's an event going on in the MAC tonight. I think it's a high school hockey championship. I think it's Jeffers and Calumet, right?
I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you it is a popular event.
Absolutely packed here at the SDC tonight. I've never actually been here during a high school hockey game, but man, I mean, it's got to be near a sellout in the MAX tonight for some high school hockey. It's pretty crazy to see.
Easily. And hockey is an important part of the Husky life.
Of course.
Did you know Houghton, Michigan is the place that professional hockey was born?
Yeah. They've got it on the sign and leading the town and everything. It's fantastic.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
But I mean, additionally in Michigan Tech athletics over the past couple weeks, both the men's and women's basketball teams and the hockey team are still playing. Both of their regular seasons starting to wrap up. The women's team took a loss to Ferris State on Thursday. Very close game, 67-70 the final score there. But bounced back and got a big win against Lake Superior State. Won that game 75-62 on Saturday night. They're currently 7th in the GLIAC. Top 8 get playoff spots. But honestly, I think they're heating up at the right time here. I think it's a very exciting team to go watch. I think they're going to surprise people in the playoffs. They're probably going to have to play on the road in the playoffs at this point. But few games left. They have time to build up that momentum into the playoffs. Then you just got to win 3 games in a row and you're conference champion. It's that simple.
It's just that easy.
Yeah,
You
just
gotta win
just
three
win
in a
3
row.
games in a row against ranked opponents. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you know.
But the men's team has been on an absolute tear this season, coming off of back-to-back wins against ranked opponents. Took down number 20 Ferris State on Thursday night, 75-63 your final score there. And on Saturday, probably the single best game of basketball I've watched here at Michigan Tech, beating number 15 ranked Lake Superior State 75-80. They were down 15 points during the first half of that game. And I believe it was Adam Hobson had like a 27-point game, just raining three-pointers during the entire second half. Just fantastic game there. The SDC gym was absolutely packed for that game. One of the best games I've ever seen for basketball, really full, stopped. So just a few games left for the Huskies there.
Yeah, regardless of your taste, it's a great time to be a Husky fan.
Yeah, and I do want to mention too that the Huskies men's basketball team is now nationally ranked. They're ranked number 22 in the country for Division II basketball. I believe that's the first time in about 5 years.
That's incredible.
Absolutely incredible news there for the Huskies. And then for the Michigan Tech Huskies hockey team, last weekend a 2-game series against Augustana. Friday night took a tough 5-1 loss, but wound up winning in a shootout the following night. I believe 4-4 is a tie in the final scorebook for the CCHA conference record. So it counts as a tie, but did win in a shootout for the sake of the fans in South Dakota last week. And this week is the final regular season home series for Michigan Tech hockey. They're going to be playing Ferris State Friday and Saturday night, 7 o'clock and 6 o'clock puck drops for you if you're interested in going to those games. Be sure to get to them. We're looking to have home playoff hockey, but it's not quite a lock yet. They're currently the 4 seed. Top 4 teams get home hockey for the playoffs. So go see your Huskies hockey team while you can, and hopefully we'll have them back here for some Mason Cup playoffs in a few weeks' time.
Well, maybe we can have our Overwatch team come out and give those
yeah, give them a little pep talk.
Hockey team a pep talk. Say, hey, we need some home playoffs.
Yeah.
That's the other great thing about playoff hockey. Much like tonight, it will be absolutely packed. The SDC will be full screaming.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the past few home games have been packed house. I mean, every week has felt like a Northern game these past few weeks for Tech hockey. I don't know, just getting late enough in the season. This team's playing some hard-fought games at home. Been really excited to see how they perform these past few weeks. So hoping to see a couple more playoff series. Hopefully some things shake out the right way in the playoffs. We get maybe the semifinals, maybe the finals here this year. Because last year we got the quarterfinal and the semifinals were amazing hockey. I don't know if you were able to go to any of those games, but one of the best finishes to a hockey game I've ever seen was the Mason Cup semifinal last year.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure it's all over YouTube. There was like a last second goal off of the goalie's helmet to score and save the day for Michigan Tech. So fantastic work there for the Huskies. We do have map number 2 up, and it's going to be Numbani. And it looks like the players are ready to go here pretty shortly. So let's see how they do in game 2. Michigan Tech taking game 1. Not quite the convincing fashion we've seen, even though the scoreboard did say 2-0. Still 2-0 game.
Still strong.
But Emporia definitely putting up quite the fight there. But we are on map number 2, and it is going to be hybrid. So the way this game works, it's a bit of a combination of the escort game mode and the control game mode that we just saw in game 1. Basically, to start, there's this big, I don't know what this thing is called, actually. I'm not sure if there's a canonical name for it. It kind of looks like a car.
I always called it a wagon.
Wagon, cart, whatever you want to call it. To start, the attacking team needs to capture the point that is based around this cart. Then their job is to basically stay on top of it and push it along the map as far as they can in a territorial game. Whichever team pushes the cart the furthest or gets it to the end of the track the fastest wins the game.
Our Huskies pick defense first, and that means that they have the first couple of minutes to set up and pick a defense. We have Isaac on Torbjorn looking to toss this turret down and make sure that there's not a sneaky back capture. Actually, no, it looks like he's just got that poked in the corner, make sure that the point has some oversight. That should help slow down a bit of Emporia State's offense. And whoever was out in front, I just saw an incredible drop in the health pools for Emporia, putting their healers to work and padding the Husky numbers a little bit. As often happens, we've got this large push going on to the kind of back right-hand side of this map, which again has one of these large kill zones. It doesn't look like we have a Lucio this time. But with a Brigitte.
Yeah, Brigitte instead.
She'll bop you straight off the map if you're not careful. It looks like Emporia State's taking a page out of textbook and also rocking the hazard. We're going to have a true slugfest here as the giant purple hedgehog-looking guy are going to start wailing on each other on the point. We've got a strong backfill here with Cheesy Bread as we get 2 pickoffs. 3!
And looks like maybe 4 here on the carry kill. That's going to be 4, and now it is just the Reapers standing for Emporia State. Effectively a team wipe there for the Huskies, and precious seconds going to start ticking away for Emporia State. Every second matters in this game mode, especially with two teams that seem like they're pretty fairly evenly matched here.
Yeah, the hard reset is hard to swallow. There's about 2 minutes and 44 seconds left for us to defend, assuming that the first point is defended. This is a crucial point for Michigan Tech to stay alive. It is a much longer walk to this first point for the Huskies than it is for the Emporia State. Do we know what they're...
It's the Hornets.
The Hornets.
Yeah.
Much longer walk for the Hornets. But as you can tell, we've got another pickoff here. Isaac picking one off as Torbjorn as their hazard falls. And without the hazard, you don't have this strong force. It is like having the supports fall from under your house. You just don't have someone to fall back on. It's like having an absolute hole in your defense. Your linemen are falling.
And a quick takedown there. Jolo running Tracer this match picks up a big kill for the Huskies, trying to slow down this push for Emporia State. Less than 2 minutes remaining to capture now for Emporia, not even a third of the way to locking down the point to start the cart moving.
And we can see that Emporia right now is a little bit tied up in that hallway by the point. That can be very, very dangerous, especially when folks have these kind of area of effect abilities or damage types. We've got the duel over here with the Tracer. Tracer and Sorjo.
Ooh,
great kill with the spray, showing. Yeah, I was here. I was ready. It was a good duel.
Every time we're like, we watch JRB quite a bit, and I'm used to seeing a nice, 500-600 health pool working with. Then we cut to Tracer, I'm like, oh, you have 175 health. I'm a little bit scared all of a sudden, But like,
look at them wrong, and they are gone.
But big kills there from Jolo, making sure to rack up that DPS. And very nice work by the Huskies so far. Now a minute remaining for Emporia State.
And Emporia had really good positioning right there.
Yes, they did.
They had us on the back scuffle. They had cracked the point essentially wide open, and were fighting Michigan Tech through a pretty solid advantage. But the Huskies came through strong.
Yeah, just solid use of utility by the Huskies, just readjusting, making sure they don't give up too much ground here. But another big push coming in from Emporia. Looks like they're going to make it to the site at least here.
But 41 seconds. We'll see if they can hold. Our Huskies are looking a little bit low. The hazard is low in the back lines.
The Isaac takedown of pucks, though, is going to be huge here. I think JRB was about to go down. Losing the tank in that push would have been a disaster.
And we can see the panic in their eyes as Emporia begins to back up. They get 46% on the point, but with 3 of their teammates down, it's going to make it very hard to get anything more than that, I would think.
Lechuga, oh, that might have been an SD by Lechuga.
Sometimes it makes sense if you were one of the last few standing, but that might have been player error.
Yeah.
Hate to happen. It probably would have happened to me many times already.
I mean, we've been seeing those really cautious fights on the edge there. I mean, Jolo's been making a lot of noise with Tracer on the outside of this map, looking to try to force people off the edge. And here's 3 big kills. Make it 4. And look at that team wipe. That is going to slam the door shut. Emporia gets a third of the site progress on the point, and that will be the threshold for Michigan Tech to take game 2. Another fantastic defensive lockdown by your Huskies on hybrid.
So, because it's a hybrid point, all the Huskies have to do at this point is make it to, 47%?
Yeah, that's it.
We'll see if it'll happen. Michigan Tech's defense was strong. They were a staying force. We'll see how they fare this time around. We don't have any heroes picked out specifically yet, but I wonder, Jake, do you think we're going to see another hazard?
I'm pretty sure that we have just pretty much an insta-lock hazard at this point. It seems like JRB's really vibing with hazard so far. No reason to tell the tank to switch it up at this point. It's been working fantastic on offense and defense, and there you see it. We're going to see the Tracer hazard combo once again. Brigitte coming back out for Savage as well.
And I think that's an echo.
That is an echo indeed.
Who do you think they're going to copy?
I have no idea. It's going to be interesting to find out.
A lot of good potential.
Is that a Winston coming out for Biscuit?
Biscuit on Winston.
Yeah.
It sounds like Emporia is looking for these big kind of brawler tanks. The hazard didn't find purchase last time, but a mercied Winston is a very scary thing. Winston being able to belch out his electrical beam on all sorts of characters, as long as they're close. That could be the ticket, as Michigan Tech does seem to be bunching up. We'll see what that is. Emporia taking the easy high ground, and we're off.
Lechuga also running the Mercy as well for Emporia State. I believe that's the first time we've seen a Mercy in any game for Michigan Tech so far this season. But going very tanky with some healers on the board here for Emporia State. Looks like more than anything, they know they just have to lock down this point. They're not worried about the push section of this game. They just need to make sure that the Huskies can't.
And we've got Isaac going in
my
with
goodness.
Hazard on that first pickoff. Beautiful. That might be enough to get us on point, but no, Savage fell on the Brigitte. So we're going in 4v4 here as we're essentially playing.
JRB ices the Mercy! Takes out the Mercy!
And without a Mercy, ooh, it's tough when you lose your healers.
It is going to be all on Biscuit now to try to force Huskies off this site. JRB going to go down. Space Kitty playing really well with Sojourn so far as well.
Ooh, the Emporia defense comes out strong. We've got our Echo. Isaac was doing a great job on the flank there earlier, making sure that Emporia wasn't fully comfortable defending against a single point attack. We see them out on the corner again, looking for something, just softening up some targets, making sure folks are awake as the Huskies barrel through this hallway of death.
Yeah.
Always a very risky spot to be, especially when you have these large area of effects, like our Winston coming in. He finds Brigitte,
Might be an overextension by the Winston, though. Got caught out for a little bit there, but able to retreat successfully, coming back into the fight. And now JRB trying to punish, but going to be forced back as well. So far, Emporia, if the Winston can get taken out by the Huskies, this site opens up immediately.
Yes.
But without that, it's just the HP's chipping away. This tank build working out very well so far.
Beautiful
Nice kill
Brigitte
there.
to pick off. We've got the
but Lechuga and Biscuit trade back,
Not a great matchup for a Tracer, but somehow Jolo makes it out alive. Anytime that I've seen a Winston as Tracer, I try to get as far away as possible.
That's probably the right strategy. Yeah, I'd say run away in a 1v1 is probably pretty good, and that's exactly what Jolo's going to do here. I mean, DPS is raining in, but when you've got 175 HP and no tank in front of you, it's a pretty scary sight when you're running Tracer. Huskies looking to cap point. Jolo's trying to push up and get in this fight.
They get Ana grenaded, and there goes our Ana. There goes our Brigitte. It makes it a lot harder to stay on point, but we get the Torbjorn pickoff. We get a Sojourn pickoff.
Need to take out this Winston. Biscuit has been holding down the site so far. That has been the issue for the Huskies.
Arnian in this? Oh boy, that was a bad joke. We're not going to think about that one. The Hazard on the point. JRB.
And this is a must kill here for the Huskies. This is their best chance so far, making progress on the site. Currently contested. Lechuga gets taken down, and that is the threshold. Michigan Tech gonna take game 2. So again, solid effort there by Emporia in the second half, making us nervous. But the Huskies prevail once again, going to take down Hybrid just by capture progression.
And our play of the game going out to our Ana player Cheesebread. Let's see what we got. These guys were looking good.
Yeah.
Michigan Tech, it's nice to see that we have these even trades on a defense point like this. And look at those shots.
Yeah, just a combined team white there. Huge plays all around by the Huskies. Fantastic work there in game 2. And now we're going to game 3. We're going to see Flashpoint again. This is where we saw the most pushback from Iona State last week. Definitely a more solid effort. They're able to pick up some kills, made some progress on some points. So it'll be interesting to see how the Huskies respond. They were going pretty much all in on a dive comp last week. And I think that was just a feeling like, we just know we can outgun you here.
Yes.
So we'll have to see if that is how the Huskies go for this in game 3. I mean, Flashpoint's fast-paced mode might lend itself well to that dive comp. We'll have to see how they feel about it, but definitely getting more pushback from Emporia so far.
And we can see that Emporia is playing smart. Picking the Winston definitely slowed down the Huskies on their assault, making sure that you could get this big body onto the back line, making all sorts of chaos. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to keep the Huskies off the point this time around, but we can see that they've got a good concept. Those big splash damages and softening up the squishy targets is the way to go. But unfortunately, our Huskies were just looking good.
Yeah, fantastic work there.
Speaking of looking good, and perhaps looking to spice up your style, University Images is our official headquarters for authentic Michigan Tech Huskies apparel. Kind of like some of these jerseys. University owned, university operated, University Images, located in the SDC. Or go to bookstore.mtu.edu.
Yeah. So huge thank you to University Images for sponsoring tonight's broadcast as well. Go get yourself some Huskies merch. Like I was saying earlier, we're getting close to playoff time here. If you're looking to go to any athletic events, you want to show up in some MTU swag, that is the place to get it. But going into game 3, We're going into Flashpoint, and it looks like we do have our map here for Game 3. It is going to be New Junk City. Exciting stuff here for Game 3. I don't believe we've seen this in a while.
2 teams enter, 1 team leaves. That is Thunderdome, but loosely inspired New Junk City, loosely inspired. As we can see, the Thunderdome operating on our map right there. New Junk City. I'm much more of an Overwatch 1 player, Jake. Do you think that we're going to see JRB on Hazard again this map?
Yes.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, JRB has not been given sufficient reason to switch off Hazard yet, in my opinion. I do not think there's a reason. I mean, Biscuit was doing really well there, running Winston for the defense for Emporia State, but also Winston is essentially built for exactly that situation.
Yes.
I think that Hazard has shown enough versatility. This is a fast-paced enough game mode that you want your tank to have some mobility, you want your tank to be able to get around the site, and you want your tank to be comfortable playing the hero.
And it's incredible. Hazard's one of the newest heroes in the game. If not, he's the newest, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yeah.
So going into a competitive scene like this and picking a character that you might not have the same amount of hours on is incredible. Big shout outs to the rest of the team too, though. Jolo finding the big damage in there. We saw plenty of Isaac supporting from strong states with the Echo and the Torbjorn, and gotta give it up to the healers for keeping our guys alive.
Yeah. I mean, like you can't say anything bad about how any of the Huskies have played tonight.
No.
Just across the board, fantastic work all around. I mean, like I said, they've ran into more adversity today than they have in their previous 2 games, but they're still getting the job done. The scoreboard still says 2-0, and that's their job so far. So you can't really have any notes, you know? So
you can't complain.
Yeah, let's see if they can make it 3-0 and 9-0 across 3 games to start the season. That would be an incredible start for your Huskies as we look to solidify some playoff positioning here.
Oh, yeah. Nothing better to keep you warm on a cold winter day like some hot gameplay clips like this.
Absolutely.
Our boys are definitely on fire.
They've just been off to an electric start so far. I guess if you're looking to warm up too, I know spring break just around the corner for some of us. I know some people have some exams coming up. I do have an exam tomorrow, but beyond that, looking forward to spring break. Excited to hopefully catch some sun and take a break from the slog that is a winter in Houghton for just a little bit.
Remind me, Jake.
Yeah.
You said the sun. Was that the big fiery ball in the sky?
That's what I remember it as. It's been a few months, you know. I'm not entirely sure, but I've read stories about it. I've heard that I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Yeah, I heard there might have even been ancient peoples worshiping it. It's a shame that it's just disappeared for the last 3 months.
Yeah, I don't know if they're working on like that. I mean, like those clouds in the way. That's I mean, who wanted that anyway?
Who ordered this? There is some point in the winter while you're up here in Houghton, Michigan, where you say, "Why? Why?"
It's usually the day after Carnival ends.
Yeah.
For most people, or Super Bowl Monday. This year they're the same day.
Yeah.
But
the beautiful thing about this year around is spring break is not taking place in the spring. At least not for us. Our winter carnival structures are still strong. I get to walk past a number of great big icy dragons on the way into work, and we get to pull ourselves into New Junk City here, looking at a much warmer climate. I believe it takes place in Australia.
Yeah, it looks quite a bit warmer here. I will say that much. But it's going to be exciting to see what the team comps look like here for Michigan Tech. And there you see it again, JRB rocking the Hazard. Why switch at this point? Fantastic work so far. Kiriko, Lucio, Sojourn, and May going to be the rest of the team comp here for your Huskies. And we're going to see a Bastion come out for Emporia State. We'll have to see how that shakes out, but I don't believe we've seen a Bastion yet on our broadcast. So we'll see how this goes for Emporia.
It is an interesting team comp, but when you are 2 points down, you have to start looking at new avenues for success.
Yeah.
So someone like Bastion paired with a support character like Zarya, you might find success in trying to keep this tanky robot alive. Then again, they are facing off against the Michigan Tech Huskies, so we'll see how long anything can stay alive. As we're off to the races, teams picking off at each other so far are And it looks like the Zarya Azrael pulls first blood against Jolo this time around. JRB, though, looking still strong as we're huddling over to the corner. That Zarya is on full blast. This is a character that, as you hit them, they grow stronger.
Yes, very aggressive play here to start from Emporia State. And
but
Michigan
we get
Tech
the
starting to bait him for it. And look at this. Isaac picks up 2 kills.
3.
Looking for a third. Savage going to pick up the third. Isaac with a third, too. Why not? And the Huskies wipe the site. Their Sojourn is forced to back off. And the Huskies begin capturing P1 quickly here. Nice work to start for Michigan Tech. Big clear early and a 3-piece for Isaac. Just started off. Fantastic play there.
Michigan Tech, classically an engineering school, teaching Emporia State how to count to 5.
Pretty much. Yeah, that'll do it for you. You'll remember that one, that's for sure.
One of the things about New Junk City here, too, is there's 2 really easy avenues for Emporia State to push. That does force our focus one way or the other, but it seems like Michigan Tech is dialed in. They're chasing these guys down. Space Kitty, Biscuit, Fallen. Lachuga gets away on that Lucio with only scraps of health to spare, but we're at a point now, Michigan Tech is sitting pretty in control at this point, 65% all the way up. We're looking pretty strong here again.
Yeah, the Huskies have solidified their position here on this first point, and once they got in position, once they weren't worried about being chased out of sight, they just started mowing Emporia down.
And there it goes again.
Here it comes again. Jolo picking up 1 on Sojourn. Space Kitty gonna get taken out. Tank already missing here for the Hornets. Big Boy Snacks going down 2. Biscuit and Asriel gonna follow quickly behind. So's Lachuga. That's gonna be another full team wipe, and P1 just like that goes in favor of Michigan Tech. And now we rotate to the second point.
And huge call outs for Savage there. He was in a couple of sticky spots there for a moment. I saw him drop down to maybe a single-digit HP, and he just skates away.
Yeah.
That map awareness, the ability to escape, some great plays coming out.
Yeah. Fantastic job by the Huskies. Now already in control of P2, getting ready to make this push.
The point's not even unlocked yet.
Yeah,
They're
there and they are ready to take it.
We find a tough position against that Zarya. Zarya frozen in her tracks, but she dropped the Graviton. Unfortunately, it did not play out in her favor. Biscuit gets dropped as well.
And the flashpoint open. Huskies back off the site for a second, trying to be aggressive, get this complete team wipe. Isaac picking up 3 more kills, because why not?
Chasing
4! That's a team wipe.
Jeez.
Huskies in control, not letting go anytime soon. Fantastic play here from Michigan Tech. For those of you not familiar with Flashpoint, it's like Control in Map 1, except we have 5 total points. First to 3 captures wins the map. And so far, Huskies making fantastic progress on making the score in this game 2-0.
Is this a blizzard warning? Because I believe Michigan Tech is sheltering in place on that point.
Why do anything else at this point? I mean, you make them come to you. You've shown that once you establish territory, you are not giving it up easy. Azrael going to pick up a kill here. Ult's going to come out from Lucio. Big push here for Emporia State, and that will drive the Huskies off the site. Emporia, for the first time, going to capture a point here. Nice work there. Well-timed Lucio ult, going to force Michigan Tech to retreat.
It's hard to push out against that. Cheesebread in kind of a dicey situation, but we've got our guys. Joel and Cheesebread faring out as the rest of the team files back in from spawn. We're looking to... Oh, Sojourn's looking for a little bit of a flank angle here, waiting for the Huskies to dive in before they go in. We got the ult pop. The railguns are in. Easy pickoff on Lachuga. That's going to be on Azrael.
Players ISO. Come on, you got to take him out. There goes Big Boy Snacks. Azrael close behind. Not quite taken out yet. Able to get away, but Biscuit's going to go down. There goes Azrael. And just like that, Huskies recap the point. They are back in control on P2. And now
it was a good heads-up play. When you have 4 people pushing onto point from one angle, there's nothing else you can do but look at them.
Yeah.
Having the Sojourn go in with that staggered offense right there, popping the ultimate and softening up those targets is just beautiful.
Yeah, how big was that entry for Sojourn? And that is going to lock up P2 for Michigan Tech. Emporia State forced to play for P3 instead. They're going to now need to take 3 in a row to take this game back and force a game 4 in the set. But a fantastic showing so far from Michigan Tech, looking as dominant as ever.
And JRB puts the wall up, catches our Azrael and Big Boy Snacks. You hate to see it, but they've just deflated them. What do you do when you lose two of your I guess that's a tank and a healer?
You get together and you try it again. What other option do you have at this point? This is the final point for Michigan Tech. If they capture this point, game, set, match, we are done. And now here comes the capture. Already Emporia State on their back heels. Alt meters slightly in their favor right now.
And there goes Lechuga again. Just some clever footwork from Isaac, Jolo picking off their Lucio. Lucio would be absolutely a benchmark target right here. Being someone able to do group healing when you're facing against two brawl comps pushing into each other, losing all of that area healing is just, it's just deflating.
Yeah.
Much like how our Zarya found herself deflated with some icicles popping them, sending them back to spawn.
And that is another complete team wipe for Michigan Tech. Savage, Cheesebread, and Isaac combined to get 5 kills there, recapture the point, and drain any progress that Emporia State had. This is going to be the final chance for Emporia State. They need a team wipe here. They need to hold the Huskies off the site, or this game is over.
Ticking up 90%. They've got to make a move now.
Need to get on site now.
But it's hard when you pick someone like Widowmaker. Widowmaker being someone who very much wants to stay in the back, and
no OT necessary. Michigan Tech gonna take the series 3-0, and that is going to be your final score. Michigan Tech remains undefeated in Overwatch, improves to 4-0 on the season, and another fantastic showing from your Huskies. Isaac with the play of the game here in Game 3.
9 and oh, two
and it
easy
was that
shots.
Insane entry.
Let's make it 3 and 4.
That fight looked like it was going to be heads up until that kill came in for Isaac, and all of a sudden just complete collapse there. Fantastic work by the Huskies, and from there just did not let off the gas.
No, they might be cold outside, but again, they're coming in hot.
Absolutely. What a fantastic way to wrap up that series there for the Michigan Tech Huskies. Like I said earlier, improving to 4-0 on the season. And they are going to be playing next week against RIT Orange, a familiar foe for your Huskies as they try to stay undefeated and get to 5-0 to start the season. But big teams ahead in the regular season. But it felt like the first true test of the Huskies so far, seeing what they do when they're going up against some really great players.
And we got to give it up to Emporia State. There was some very good clashes. There were some points where I was thinking, Michigan Tech, we've got our cards picked out. This might be a tough fight, and it was. Unfortunately, the numbers don't reflect that.
Scoreboard says 3-0, but it felt quite a bit closer than that. So really fantastic work there by the Hornets, but Huskies are going to prevail and stay perfect on the season so far. We're going to have a post-game interview coming up for you in just a little bit. Before that, we can take a look at our upcoming schedule one more time. This Friday at 8 o'clock, we're going to see the Call of Duty team back taking on Southeastern Illinois College. And then next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, our usual schedule. While we are going to be on spring break, we do have a Tuesday 8:30 matchup where the League of Legends team is going to take on George Fox University, looking to improve to 2-2 on the season for the League of Legends team. Huskies at 8:30, like I've mentioned. Overwatch 2 taking on RIT Orange. And then Friday at 8 o'clock next week, the Tech Call of Duty team will be playing Buena Vista University. With that, I think we are ready to cut to a quick intermission, and we will have a post-game interview right after that. Alex, any final thoughts before we cut to that?
With a schedule like that, be sure to subscribe to Michigan Tech Esports by liking and subscribing on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, press the little bell icon next to the subscribe icon as well. That is very important. Make sure you get a little pop-up notification on your phone whenever we go live, whenever we upload a new video for you all. Very important to keep an eye out for that. Make sure that you're here so you can root on your Huskies every single time we're live. We're going to cut to a quick intermission to get a post-game interview ready. We'll be back for you in just a moment.